Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, the Blues taking on the Waratahs. It's going to be at Eden Park, and at the moment, the Blues, they've had a mixed bag of a season. Currently, as the table sits, they are in fifth. Now, a couple of these points have changed just a tad, with the Chiefs moving up more, with themselves getting their eighth victory in a row, one of which was over the Blues. But currently, the Blues, they have 4 wins, 3 losses. The Waratahs just outside of the top 8 on the points differential. In fact, it's a bit weird because their points differential is better than the Fijian Drua, so I assume they would actually be in 8th in this case, but must be something else that they do rank it off. I think it's off who's beaten who or tries or something along those lines. Anyway, they need a win here to be able to get themselves a little bit higher up, but they are heavy underdogs for this contest. They will not have Michael Hooper with them in this matchup. So that is a big hit, but the Blues looking as strong as ever with their lineup. It will be Ofa Tuangafasi, Ricky Riccatelli, and Nepo Lulala as the front row. Then Patrick Tuipulotu and Sam Derry going to be the 2 locks. Anton Segner at 6, Adrian Choate 7, and Satutu at number 8. So no Dalton Papali looking through at the back line. Finley Christie at 9, Bowden Barrett 10. Harry Plummer gets the opportunity at inside centre. That is due to the absence of RTS, who is starting go back down the rugby league track. Rico Ioane at 13, Caleb Clark, Mark Talia, and Stephen Petafeta going to be the back 3 for the Blues. We have got the meow from Pat the Blaze. Do you remember me, says the Haka? You were here yesterday. So I certainly do. Who's joining you tonight, says Kiwi Gamer. It's just me, all by myself on the lonesome for this commentary. I am still very sick, so yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have George come around, even though I'm sure he would have liked to and wouldn't mind if he did get sick. But yeah, I decided instead of getting him sick, it's probably better off doing a solo one for just this weekend and get him better for next weekend. And also because the Drua have one more win, says Badzer. Okay, so it's actually based off who's won games. Mr. No Friend says Badzer. Yeah, got a ring to it, doesn't it? Maybe we should go by that. And all the evening, Hamish brother, says Birdie V. Welcome in, mate. This is the starting lineup for the Waratahs. Lambert, Vailanu, and Harry Johnson Holmes as the front row. Jed Holloway and Von Uppen there at number 5. Sue at 6. Ward at 7. And then also it is going to be Will Harris at number 8. The combo, Jake Gordon and Ben Donaldson, the 9-10. Walton and Parisi in the midfield. So no Lalakai Foketi for this game. Dylan Peach Jorgensen, who's been having a fantastic Super Rugby Pacific so far, and then Wilson will be there. Number 15, that is Harry Wilson, according to the sheets. Now, it's not the same Harry Wilson, though. Does play for the Reds at number 8 and get on the honey and lemon. Get well soon, says Water Sports Fan. Yeah, it should be going all right in a couple of days' time. It's actually been quite a long sickness, unfortunately. It's been ever since Monday and still stuffed up. How long ago was GoPro Cricket Match you posted? Probably about 3 months. Somewhere around there. I think it was just after we came back. So maybe around 25th of January, somewhere around that mark. Yeah, 3 months, evening Kiwi Lads. Well, we are up to round 9 of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. So still plenty of time left for teams to progress. The last rounds are going to be taking place in that kind of late June region, or early June, building into the finals. But these are the benches. Jordan and James, the Lays, going to be there ready to go. And number 17, 18, Vakina also in that front row replacement for the Blues. Suafua and Akira Ioane, a long way to return for that man. He's been working hard on the training field, now gets the opportunity to go back out there, see what he can do. Sam Knock at 21, Bryce Hen 22, and then Zahn Sullivan, the youngster, at number 23. Latu, Letianga, and also it will be both in the front row. I know I really butchered the name for the Lucy prop there. Isley and Charlie Gamble, Wilson, Bowen, and Tuipulotu, the last man off the bench now for the Waratahs. And also we have got there, where's your sexy sidekick? He is away because I am sick. So he probably is going to be watching this game, just not next to me, because I do not want to get him sick. That is the last thing that I want to do. You sounded a bit better today. I'm also on the mend. This floor's not nice, says Birdie V. Yeah, I actually, believe it or not, even though I sound slightly still not great, I just finished cooking like a big old feast for tea. I don't know why, but even when I feel sick, I feel like I'm like, right, I got to do something. So I've been quite productive today. I've done more editing and cooked a nice bloody massive feast Hello, says Gareth. Hello, Gareth. You doing well? Good evening, Hamish, the Kiwi Lads. Booty V, how's it going, brother? Says Nate. And also we have got there Blues all the way, says Creeper Reigns. And up the Blues, says Blues Nate. See, that's the thing. The Blues are heavy favourites coming into this contest. They are just about to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. We were just having the last post. Anzac Day. Empty stands on the far side for Eden Park, but still not a terrible crowd for this matchup. Can you guess my name? I believe you already told us your name, though, the Haka, so I would not have to guess it in that case. An evening, brother. Hope you are well. Says Birdie V. Paul Williams going to be in charge of this one. TMO Richard Kelly. Those are the names that everyone keeps a close eye on now for matches. Ever since that Fijian draw Brumbies game, everyone's been a little bit more observant with the referee names so they know who to make their videos about. It is going to be now the Waratahs kicking off from right to left for this match at Eden Park. They mentioned that it was torrential rain earlier on, which does mean it's very wet out there, unfortunately. They're playing Roman Reigns' entrance music for the start of this match. I thought I recognize that tune. Is it copyrighted? Are they allowed to do that? And before I pick the Blues, I have no idea about rugby union. I love league since I was 5. My dad played for Sydney Newton way back. Says Spider-Max. So he is picking the Blues. It's going to be kicked up high, nicely taken by Patrick Tuipulotu. On this Blues side, even with a couple of missing players, they are still stacked. Now charging forward. Adrian Choate hanging on to this one at the back now. Nice rolling ball for the Blues to start this one off. Finley Christie looking for it instead. It's actually going to be still rolling forward for Adrian Choate. The Blues probably making about 25 metres from this rolling ball, and now they've got the advantage as well. The Waratahs just not quite finding a way of answering that one. Of course, they don't have Michael Hooper at 7. Instead, his counterpart is the one who does end up giving away the penalty, but that will be going back now. The original, they should have CM Punk's entrance top song, says Water Sports Fan. Is that the original or the new one? The Cult of Personality, and then what's the other one called? The one that he used to have. I can't think of what it's named though. And also, getting a half century means you'll shout for KFC or whatever you get next time to Oamaru or Timaru. Century means next 2. Does it? I'm not aware of this rule, mainly because I don't normally get any runs. So it's tricky. Original Cult of Personality, says Water Sports. In there. Yeah, there's a great rolling ball from the Blues. Now moving up to the 22, they've got another opportunity to try and roll this one towards the Waratahs line. Nicely taken by Hoskins at Tutu. Off to Christie, short ball. Now to Harry Plummer. Chance at number 10. He's on his head and he's doing a headstand. Very flexible, Harry Plummer is. Now Finley Christie. Off to the left. In fact, Bowden Barrett in the pocket. Going for the cross kick. It's going to be Satutu chasing it, but it's nicely taken. I believe he was taking the mark there, Dylan Peach. He allows the mark. And go the Blues. Yes, says the Haka. And try time, mate. Says Jonathan there. And Blues by 40. And is Tom Robinson on? He is not. And he's actually not off the bench either for this one, sadly. I'm sure Big Red won't be too far away. That wasn't a huge kick from the marks. And now 20 metres out, the Blues will once again have themselves the attacking chance. I think they're going to use this rolling ball a lot throughout this matchup. And then that also opens up the opportunity that when the Waratahs go a little bit more compact, maybe that cross kick from Barrett again, or instead just getting that ball out wide to the left-hand side. Ricky Riccatelli. All starting to become available for Finley Christie to grab. Yes, he does give it up. Now across Harry Plummer. First receiver goes off to Rico Ioane. Good low tackle made on him by Walton. Counter ruck there as well. Just flicked out the back from Finley Christie. I believe the advantage is now in favour of the Waratahs. Yes, it is. $200 for the Blues to win. And Blues by 78. Back into the pocket now. Ben Donaldson gets some good distance down towards the halfway line, taken by Perifeta, playing fullback for this game, goes across to Barrett. Now looks to inject himself off to the left-hand side, gives it off to Clark with a bit of space. Now my voice is trying to give out. We fought it off. Mark Talia now. Off to Stephen Perifeta, loose carry. And now they're going back for the penalty, though. What's up, Hamish? Thank you always for your commentary. Let's go, Blues. There's Laurie there. Or Laurie, sorry, I should say. Yeah, I do apologise that I do sound a little bit rough at the moment. Our voice should be back once I am not sick anymore. It looks like they're going to go for the 3 points. Yes, they do. That's a little bit of a win for the Waratahs, just a tad, because the Blues rolling maul, they rolled 30 metres up the middle of the park, but aren't willing to take on a rolling maul from 5 metres out from the Waratahs line. And instead they want Barrett, who was sitting 2 from 8 in the last game that he played kicking-wise. They decided instead he wants to go to it. They've given it to Perifetta. That makes more sense. He's normally decent off the kicking tee. I've probably just jinxed him. Now, Perifetta going to be lining up this one. There's been quite a few questions about where he slots into the All Blacks scenario in the future, just because they've got a few good fullbacks around. He does get the kick over, so that will now make the score 3-0 in favour of the Blues. They do strike first in this contest. I guess points on the board is better than a try chance that they give up with the rolling maul, but still thought they might have backed themselves to be able to get over the line. But now it's going to be kicked downfield by Ben Donaldson. They're talking about the draining system in Eden Park. Doesn't even look like it was rainy earlier. The way that the ground's not really moist. Oh, Finley Christie just have a knock on in the breakdown. Not sure, but it goes back across to Perifetta. Now Rico Ioane, chance out to the left-hand side. Hoskins at 2 finds the offload to Caleb Clark. Dragged down by Jorgensen. That's a knock on. Is it from Rico Ioane? I would think so. So it's going to be a line out in favour of the Blues here. Rico must have just got this one placed and then it went forward. Yeah, see, that's close to a knock on. Rico, and it's about the Highlanders, says Levi there. They are playing in the later game up against the Western Force, they are. And Blues take this game out tonight, and my beloved Storm take the Anzac, I hope, says Spider Meek. Oh, line out from Ricky Riccatelli, so it is play on in favour of the Blues. That hit Anton Segner's hand. They say that also went backwards to Hadrian Choke. Now, no, they have called that one as a knock on. Now, it's going to be Sue in his way towards the 40-metre line. Another offside advantage going the way of the Waratahs, so it upgraded from just being a knock-on to now being a penalty. Vailani goes across. In fact, it might not be Vailani, it might be Vailanu. Yeah, it's Vailanu, the name of him. Number 2, who's probably going to get a chance to throw this one in if the Waratahs go for the corner. They should. I know that 3 points is great, but the Blues looking through, we will actually show you guys the table at the moment. The Blues have a points differential of plus 78 compared to the Waratahs plus 5. These two sides have played the same amount of games, but that big difference is the fact that the Blues normally score a lot of points. They're actually sitting better than 90% of the competition almost. Only two sides above them, the Hurricanes and the Chiefs. That means that not only do they not concede often, but they do score often. So the Waratahs kicking for the corner, I think, is the right choice here. 3-pointers may not quite be enough. Levi is actually my real name. It says Levi there. It's probably quite strategic that you made it your YouTube name then, just in case people thought it was a fake name. Finley Christie goes off to the left-hand side. Now nicely taken by Caleb Clark. Big shove on him. A little bit of skill shown from, I believe that's actually going to be Harry Wilson. Now, it's not the Harry Wilson who everyone would think for Harry Wilson. So I feel like we need a good nickname for him. Just because or else then no one, well, only the people who we're talking about will know the nickname though. Oh, that's a knock on. Put down from, I think that was Sinclair. No, in fact. It was Von Apen. And Blues traditionally Super Rugby champions, says Gita in there as well. Now, that's the thing. They've got a very good chance. As long as you're in that top 8, anyone can win Super Rugby. And I wholeheartedly believe that from the upsets that we've already seen this year. Home field advantage will be huge, but It won't be absolutely everything because we have seen some good losses coming for sides at home. Well, good for the team that bet them, not so good for the side at home that lost it. Caleb Clark's looking ready for this one. He is out on the left wing for this match. Mark Talia on the right, both trying to get themselves an All Black contention. Good morning, Kiwi lads, watching from Wales, says RP there. It is a nice early morning for yourself. In Wales, we are going to be covering a kind of middle of the day game for yourself. It is going to be Munster versus the Sharks, if my voice holds up. That is going to be at about 4:15 a.m. New Zealand time. Nice run from Rieko Ioane. Moves up to the halfway line. Bit of slide there on the field. Choke goes across to Christie. Riccatelli, another carry. Been busy throughout the early stages of this match. Now some quick hands from the Blues backs. Goes off to Caleb Clark. Breaks through one tackle. Tries to go over the top of Jake Gordon. Moves to 25 out now. Big run from Ofa Tuangafasi. Starting this game at number 1 rather than 3. Looks like there's going to be a penalty advantage in favour of the Blues. So Barrett decides why not give the cross kick another go. Talia waits for the bounce, but he gets pushed into touch. When he does manage to gather it, they will be going back for the original penalty. Are they cold still hanging around? Yeah. Yeah, I've had it since Monday, so I missed 3 days of work. And I was hoping by the weekend it would be better, but it's still not great, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll see how we end up going. Like, we're still going to have that live stream for the middle of the night. I still want to do that one game. I was going to do 2, but I think I should definitely just do the 1 for now, just to try not to overdo it. But yeah, sticking around a little bit longer than I would have liked. And what was on the menu tonight? So I said I made a feast. It was like a basic enough feast, but it was still decent. You know, I had some steak, made some lovely roast potatoes, which I spent almost over an hour on. I wanted to make them perfect, and they turned out pretty good. Some broccoli, some carrots. Probably the healthiest tea that I've had in ages. Looks like Jed Holloway's fingering the ball, or he's got his hands on it anyway, I should say. I don't think I've ever heard a commentator describe it in that manner. Looks like it's stuck in there, though. Finley Christie can't quite pull it out. Oh, bit of a wrestle. Here we go. Adrian Choke inside control. Now 5 metres out from the line. Oskinsa Tutu spins out. Goes almost over the law. As he puts it back. Decides instead to allow one of the Blues teammates to try and drive over, which they do. Ricky Riccatelli gets himself the try. Next time, listen to your mum, take the flu shot, says Spider Mick. And there, I think it was just more I just caught it from being out and about. Like, I got a new job that deals in customer service and cleaning stuff. So I feel like it was probably a kid that went by and went like, haha, achoo, and now I'm sick. Good morning from a tiny island in Norway. And there's his mumbo jumbo. And also look rugged with the beard, brother, ladies, watch out, says Larry. Yeah, it's getting a bit long, isn't it? Unfortunately. Well, I don't know if that's unfortunate. I just wish it would grow out like Isaac's does, like actually not patchy. Down the side sounds yummy, says Nov Mum. Can't wait for the Rugby World Cup. Yeah, it's getting closer. Going to be exciting. I slept 9 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. today, says Nov Mum. Bit of different hours. I talked about this yesterday, but the other night I woke up at 2:30 a.m., couldn't get to sleep. Wasn't feeling flash, so I just got up, had a popsicle, and cooked some chips. And then went back to sleep after and slept fine, so maybe the popsicle was all I needed. Stephen Petafetta lines up the kick. It goes over. Very accurate, that man, and that is now going to make the score 10-0 in favour of Les Bleus. Translated to the Blues. Not quite translated that way, but yeah. We'll go with that. Where's our man, St. George? I believe, if I'm not wrong, he'll be at his house. And if I go on my Steam, I can see what my friends are up to. And I would assume he's playing Farming Simulator. No, he's not. He was last seen playing Farming Simulator 21 hours ago. He might be out having a bit of a rave on a Saturday night. Or working. I think he was working earlier on, so he might be in a tractor. Still probably having a rave, just working at the same time. Nicely taken by Caleb Clark under the high ball. Now Hoskins Satutu up to the halfway line. Look for the pass on the inside. Goes off. Zaya Perezi manages to stop it now down the wing. Harry Wilson does get the ball. There we go. We've caught up. We're a little bit behind. Click the fast forward button. Now 13 and a half minutes gone on this one. Good defense from the Blues, driving the Waratahs just a little bit closer towards their own 22. Cheerbro Hamish says, Ronnie, welcome in, mate. And that was after going to bed at a normal time and waking up at 7 a.m. Says no mum there. So I assume it's your body telling you need a bit more rest, perhaps, which is probably fair enough for what you have got to go through at the moment. Hopefully you are still feeling not too bad, Nonma. It's going to be nicely taken by Finley Christie. Goes back to Burton Barrett. Kicks it downfield, looking for the 50-22. If the 50-22 meant kicking it down the middle of the field. Now Harry Wilson 2.0. Going to be kicking this one down the field, looking this time towards the touchline, but Bowden Barrett was waiting, ready to fire a kickback of his own. Instead, though, fakes goes off to Caleb Clark. He's got a man on his inside and a man on the outside. It's Finley Christie who receives the ball, and he passes it forward out to Harry Plummer. Referee must have been blinking or sneezing or something because he did not see it. Now, it's gone into touch. The Waratahs are going to have themselves a line out 5 metres out from their line. Are my eyes deceiving me? I know that I'm sick at the moment, so maybe I'm hallucinating, but I thought that pass went forward by about a metre from Finley Christie here. Oh, did he get extremely lucky because Gordon's hand might have touched the ball with his finger. So he might have got him very lucky. And I was like, let's hope George isn't raving with that certain lady from last week. I'm sure he'll tell us about it if he did. But he said he's got a good story about KFC. So we'll have to get him on at some stage when I'm healthy and he can tell us all about it. It was to do with chicken thighs, though, and you guys know he's passionate about his chicken thighs. It's one thing that's for sure. Do you think the Highlanders are going to win Super Rugby or the Crusaders? Well, out of those two options, I think that it's probably more likely to be the Crusaders, unfortunately, Levi, just because they are struggling a little bit at the moment, the Highlanders. Sitting on the table, I believe they're 10, or have they made it into the top 8? No, sorry, they have made it into the top 8. They're actually 7th. They're not doing as bad as I thought they were. They're slowly pulling it back. If they win against the Western Force, they'll actually be right up there. It's just whether or not they can avoid those injuries. That seems to hit them every year. Good ref, says Bottom Mick. Now, Bottom Barrett hit hard in the tackle, driven into the turf, but Caleb Clark wants the offload to Petafetta. Now, Mark Talia looking for the corner. He's got 3. Waratahs trying to force him towards the touchline. Oh, Finley Christie received the pass on the inside, but intercepted by the Waratahs. Number 14, Jorgensen. Bowden Barrett takes it just outside of his 22. Looks like he's going to try and run it back. He's pretty quick on a Bronco, old Bowden Barrett, so he won't mind running to the 60 and back. Mark Talia up to the halfway line now. Now Finley Christie off to the left-hand side. Bowden Barrett thought about the cross kick again, but instead goes to Tuanga Fussy. Now choke our white to Satutu. It's a back absence on that left-hand side. We've got a forwards party all driving towards the 22. Now Finley Christie thought about going to Lepololala. Ignored him. Derry dropped. And it's a knock-on. So great tackle on him. Harry Wilson down low. Waratahs now kick it down the middle of the park. Chiefs or Crusaders? That is a harder question, Jonathan. You know how to ask them. I don't know. Crusaders are like, we saw them play last night against the Rebels, and they were not flash, but still managed to win that game by the margin that they did. So it's it's a tricky one. And I was like, mate, this is a good year for them. Believe me. Is that for the Chiefs, Jonathan? And the Chiefs never made. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think he's replying to that one. Sailors versus Chiefs next week will be a cracker. It certainly will be. Great contest to be able to call. Caleb Clark bleeding out of the chin, unfortunately. Boom. That was almost on the chin from Siu. Was that a legal strike? Were their arms being wrapped? I think so. Gave him a bit of the afters as well. Just tapped him on the chin and said, ha, got you. Hopefully the Highlanders don't lose Super Rugby, says Levi. What do you consider losing Super Rugby? Like, if they don't win the whole thing, is that counted as, like, losing? Or do you say, like, they make it so far you're still happy with their performance? Now, Jake Gordon going to be feeding this one into the scrum. Or not. It's a free kick to the Blues because a little bit of pre-engagement from the Tars. I heard a profanity yelled, so someone wasn't happy with that scrum. Now, Blues turn it around. They've decided that they want to go for their own scrum. just outside of the 20-metre line, 22-metre line, sorry. So used to RTS now that he's going back to league. It makes sense to use 20s and whatnot. But it will be interesting because the question is, if he goes back to the Warriors, does he drift straight back into that starting side? Or do you have to, stay away for a little bit, slowly make your way back in? Chiefs won in 2012 and 2013. So they have won semis. And yes, mate, Chiefs, I know no one thinks the Chiefs will make it, says Jonathan. I think a lot of people are confident the Chiefs, out of all the years, I think this is going to be their best one at the moment. Like the way it's been going, the best in a long time anyway. The Aussie teams are between our Super Rugby teams and our NPC. Nice run from Clark. A nice tackle made by Taleni Siu. I think he lost his footing, but we're going back for the original advantage for the Blues. And numbers for the 8 jersey, Artie, Hoskins, Jacobson, Renton, and Grace. Yeah, I saw Cullen Grace was back for the Crusaders in the last game when they did play up against the Rebels last night, coming off the bench. So that's good to see. And now he's just got to try and boost himself up. RTS is just another Sonny Bill Williams. So he's going to do boxing, is what you're saying. Going to head down, hit some pads, get a bit of the dodging and weaving going, and perhaps we see him on a Paul Gallen fight card at some stage in the future. Looks like the Blues want to take the 3 this time. And it's going to be Peter Feta, who's taken some deep breaths. This game has been played at quite a high tempo, even with a couple scrums thrown in there as well. Is that Levi? There's Harford. Levi. And why has Rotorua Asashik gone back to league? I'm not sure of the exact reasons. I know what I think, and a lot of other people think that it is, but I don't know whether it was something to do with, I don't know if it was family related or just didn't feel like he was quite clicking in Union. Maybe the contract was up and he was like, nah, I think I'll go back to league. Warriors are going all right at the moment. I wouldn't mind a piece of that pie. Like, it could be anything, really. I don't know whether he's had an interview that he's said it. I'm sure if we really dug deep, we'd be able to find it. Speaking of digging deep, we've got to find a Hippo fact for halftime, ladies and gentlemen. I would like everyone, this is your homework, because I'm now your teacher. I would love a Hippo fact from as many people as possible at halftime. Okay? Once we reach 40 minutes, we talked about Hippos yesterday. That is I guess you could say, the relevance of Hippos. Yeah, I would love for everyone to tell me a nice Hippo fact at halftime. Be sure to start getting them ready. I'm excited. Is Rotorua Asashik bad? I think that is from Ronnie. Like, he did all right. It's just they threw him in the deep end. And he could only partially swim. Like they pretty much said, right, you're an All Black, you're our inside centre. You're going to be a Blues inside centre. You're going to become a superstar for the All Blacks and you're going to win us the World Cup. Okay, cool. Sign the contract. And he went, all right. And it didn't quite work out that way. Waratahs or Warriors have played better without Rotorua Asashik. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. And came in at the wrong time. Should have stayed in league, says Nate. I think it's for his own best because he is every game on the bench, says Jonathan there. Although I would think that for the Warriors, he's going to be the same. Like this Warriors side at the moment, they're doing some good things. And yes, they'll be happy to have him back, but I don't know whether injecting him straight in is the best idea for them. He's back and ready to go. Cullen Grace says it was there from Blues, Nate. And hello, played my trial game for school. It was mint. Says hey, now mint. I'm not quite as hip as you. We used to use mint. Is that the same thing? Like it was good? Or was it bad? Was it going to make the AB's World Cup squad then? I think so. Even though they've got a couple injuries, the Goodhue and Anton Leonard-Brown, whether or not they're playing's different story. But to be honest, I'd probably take someone like an Alex Nankervel over to Asashik at the moment. I think he may have known that. So Parisi finds the offload. Currently, the Waratahs attacking inside of the 22 of the Blues. First real chance for them of the day. They actually have advantage as well. Blues sitting on 13 points. Yeah, he has to play to get back in, says Ronnie. Yeah, it's kind of like, in a way, similar to Heath. It's a trial. If he plays well and he's training hard, he'll get minutes. But if he's not doing great when he first comes back, there's no reason that I keep on almost saying Waratahs because they're playing, but there's no reason that the Warriors should sacrifice someone who's in form to get Rotorua Asashik back in. because then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. If he doesn't perform, then you're in a bit of a muddle, aren't you? I think the Highlanders will win the H. Says Levi there. Another penalty going the way of the Waratahs. Something about 20 metres out. They look like they are still once again going to go for the attacking option rather than the 3. And that true, Hamish? Says Nate there. And yep, says Ronnie. And my first game in the school, or for the school in the rugby, it was meant. So does that mean, it was meant to, okay, I see what's happened now. You pressed enter rather than the button next to it. I've got it. Meant to start at 9:30 a.m. The other school put it as 9:30 a.m. Pushed myself a bit too hard. Had a headache and vomited. Did you drink plenty of water, Heath? That's normally one you got to, in fact, that's reminding me, get some water down me. Here we go. We're good now. But also, are you covering the Western Force Highlanders? No. We are not for that one, but we are going to be covering Munster versus the Sharks in the middle of the night. Be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Oh, player down at the moment. That's Harry Johnson-Holmes. He's not feeling flashy, a little bit like you, Heath. Took a bit of a head knock, sitting down on the ground. He hasn't vomited yet, though, so that's good news. Kick deep. Nicely taken now by Dylan Peach. Looks for the kicking option in behind. There's a hand up at the moment for the medic, so that doesn't seem too good for Harry Johnson-Holmes. Bowden Barrett, though, he says keep it in the field of play. Now it's gone into the Waratahs 22. They should kick this one out. No, they've decided they'll have a run. They don't care that they haven't got a prop at the moment. They're going to keep on trying to attack. Taken nicely by Mark Talia. They may come to regret that decision. Perafeta, skip pass out to Rico Ioane now. A second medic has made their way onto the field for Harry Johnson-Holmes in back play. Luckily, he's inside of the 22 of the Blues, whereas the Blues are currently on attack. Now going to the left-hand side. Nice low take from Rico Ioane. Perafeta, he's dropped that ball. Go back for the knock-on, but they'll also stop play to check on Perafeta. Or not Perafeta, sorry, Harry Johnson-Holmes. And although Rumsey has said how we feel, we're feeling still rough. It was weird because, like, the pattern of my being sick was Monday, it was like, yeah, okay, it's there. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were like, not feeling flash at all. Okay, it was for Tuanga Fasi flying in like a madman. And he was saying that he was dipping. He does take a bit of head contact there, but he was right down. Yeah, Wednesday and Tuesday were like, I'm still pretty rough. Thursday, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm getting real nice now. And then Friday hit me like a truck, and Saturday's been a bit the same. So it's a bit of an up and down, like a roller coaster. Harry Johnson-Holmes hope he's better soon after that knock. Also, it was 2 out of 4. Oh, I was 2 out of 4 off the tee. That's not too bad. My pick is Peter Gus and Renton in form, and Jacobson says Mumbo Jumbo. Also, I feel like Clark would have been a better 12 or 13 than a wing. He doesn't have a good kicking game, but seems stronger than Rico, says Laurie. And is George going to be up for the Sharks game? I don't think so, not unless they're starting work extremely early tomorrow. He might be up at 6:30 if they are, but I think the earliest they normally start is around like 7:30-ish. Ratma, 9, he's a good option at the moment. Cortez Ratma. I feel like either him or... Oh, another scrum reset. Yeah, him or Cam Roygaard, I feel, has to get themselves a bit of a dark horse injection into the All Blacks. I don't know whether they'll do it. I feel like at the moment I would take almost both of them over Fakatava, which sounds harsh, but I think at the moment off form, you got to look at those two guys and go, wow, doing all right. Chiefs will smash the Crusaders, says E-Dog. That's the thing, though. If they beat them during the regular season, that is fantastic. But they need to beat them in a playoff game if they end up in that scenario. And we all know how the last playoff game between those two sides went. And it ended with the Crusaders lifting yet again another trophy. Now it's going to be passed off nicely. Oh, going off to the right. Oh, a little bit of a slip there for Vailanu. Agree Ratama and Royga, the future. If they don't get chosen, says Laurie. Yeah, if they miss out on this World Cup, I almost want to guarantee one of them will be in the 2027 All Blacks squad. But I like to think they'll get a chance before then. Now, do we think Blues score over 41.5? Oh, it's a tricky one. They're on 13 at the moment. There are 13 minutes left in the first half. See, I don't like saying yes or no because then if you put money on and you get it wrong, people normally blame me, even though I tell them I don't want to do this. In terms of the betting side of things, my betting skills are about as good as what's something that's really, really bad. A lot of things. Are you covering Harlequins versus Bath? No, not tonight, unfortunately, and not tomorrow night. If it's tomorrow instead, actually. But yeah, at the moment, this will be probably our quietest weekend in terms of streams, mainly because I don't think my voice will last for more than a couple more. So we got our Sharks Munster in the middle of the night, which hopefully we'll feel good for. And then, yeah, it is going to be that's all for the weekend. D&D Mac and Bum Barrett in Mumbo Jumbo. Nicely thrown in by Vailanu. Available now. Siu claims it. The Waratahs now looking to drive themselves towards that Blues try line. Here it comes. Vailanu got it at the back. Wheeling round. He goes straight through, and the Waratahs get themselves their first try of the contest. They were already $9 underdogs for this contest, and I'm also going to quickly check. They were sitting, okay, well, they're now $13 underdogs, but they were a little bit lower, or higher, I should say, than that. And Zebre are pretty bad at the moment. The sad thing about Zebre is they started the season so well, and I know that when you look at the table, it's like, but they lost every game, and they still have, but they've had a lot of close games that actually have slightly surprised me, but that was near the start of the season. Back in, they've kind of lost it, unfortunately. And I was like, nah, not Bowden Barrett. He isn't as good as he once was. It'll be interesting to see who they go with as the 10 option. Just quickly looking. Okay, so Ulster beat Edinburgh and Stormers beat Benetton in the two games that happened last night. Lions versus Zebra tonight, though. That will be a good game. I will actually be sleeping at the time that that game takes place. Ben Donaldson now lining up the kick. Right, taking a step back. Ben Donaldson drifts it round nicely from right to left, and that will go over 13 points to 7. Very true. They seem to have given up, says Flesh. And it's as if they saw that first half of the season and were like, we're throwing absolutely everything into these games, and we still aren't getting a win. And that can deflate a team. Like, I would have thought the amount of bonus points they've received is actually quite impressive for them this year. I was going to check all of their games, but we have to get on to our Hippo facts at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to bring up a Hippo fact for the halftime entertainment. We're going to learn all about these lovely looking creatures that could swallow us whole. I think we missed the Yappies for aggression, dominance at the breakdown, since Kiwis seem to be on top of the Aussie teams, apart from the Brumbies, says Laurie. That's going to be kicked downfield. Bowden Barrett takes it nicely 40 metres out from his line, goes across to Zahn Sullivan, who is now on the field. That is due to the injury that has succumbed for the Blues. Here comes Caleb Clark. Injection already showing from Zahn Sullivan. Tuanga Fussy gets to the breakdown first. Now Satudu, ball on the outside. Rico Ioane, I apologise for my voice. And Rico might have just scored in the corner. Right, we can't raise the voice too much, can we? I've just learnt that. Sound like I was back in high school. No try player is in touch. TMO's cleared it, and Padza, that's because Bowden Barrett keeps getting jacked by Foz. Interesting. Good hands from Zahn Sullivan, then to Satutu, and then, yeah, they knew he was out. So there was good work from them. The fact that they didn't muck around for 5 minutes trying to decide whether or not it was out. Going well. I should mention, though, through being sick, I once again had a good productive day of editing. That video I was showing you guys last night, that was 1 hour, 9 minutes, is now sitting about 48 minutes. And where do we put the Hippo? Blindside or number 8? Ooh. I'd put him at 8. you know. It's not Fosbro. Do you even watch him? Says Beds Ablaze. Yeah, if I had a hippo in my team, a literal hippo, this is not like any kind of code word or anything like that before anyone gets annoyed, like a literal animal hippo. I think number 8, that pace off the back when he gets going, boy, he'd be scary. 35.5 for the Blues is free. What does free mean, Rumsey? Like as in actually like you don't have to pay to put it on, or how does it work? What is up? They let one in and they get one back, says Ronnie. Almost, but it was disallowed. Need a couple of strips or Hamish. Soldier on. Says Lowry there. You see, that's the thing. Even though I've been sick, I've been more productive, and I feel like it's slightly woken me up to getting more stuff done, which is weird because normally if you get sick, people don't want to they don't want to get out of bed. Me today, I was going to sleep in, but then I got up, or I woke up and I was like, "Jesus, it's a bit warm," and just got up, edited. What animal would you have at 10, Hamish? Says Pads of Place. Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't know what animal I'd have at number 10 if I had a choice. You need someone or an animal that thinks good, but needs a bit of size to it. That's nicely stepping from Rico Ioane. Oh, penalty won by the Waratahs. Actually getting over the ball there. I believe it was the number 7. Yep, Hunter Warden. Doing very well. Well, Hunter Ward, sorry, without the in. Our locks giraffe and an elephant. That would be interesting. I'd have an ostrich as one of my locks, just with that long neck, you know. Proctor at 13, a mongoose. You're doing a good job, says Ronnie. Anyone who is tuning in now, we've seen 2 tries throughout this contest, one for the Blues, one for the Waratahs. What number was it for the Waratahs who scored, now that I think about it? My brain's gone blank. Was it Vailanu? I don't know if it was Vailanu who got the try. I can't remember. The Lima from Madagascar. I like to move it, move it. I used to be able to do a great impersonation of him, but now would be the wrong time to try and do it, seeing as I'm quite sick, so I wouldn't sound as good. Lucy, a hippo, crockett, open side line at number 8. Oh, you could have a lion at 10 now that I think about it. King of the jungle, king of the back line. You know, get it going. It's going to be nicely kicked in behind. King Carlos Spencer. Maybe he was a lion in disguise. Or not. Maybe he was just a player. Odin Barrett goes across to Zahn Sullivan in the midfield. It's it high. It's going to be heading down towards halfway. Could be anyone's ball, but Jake Gordon is ready for it. Takes it nicely. Whereas Papali, he is on sideline for this game. He isn't actually going to be playing. I don't know whether that's resting him or whether that is just what has happened, unfortunately. And the shed break better spark them up. I need to capitalize on these mistakes, says the snooze there. Yeah, they've had quite a few throughout this first half, both sides, in fact. You ever try coughing quietly because you don't want to make any noise, and yet that actually makes it slightly worse? Jake Gordon back to Ben Donaldson. Ball's gone high again. Almost backwards for that kick. That one's bouncing out. Uh-oh. Here comes Caleb Clark. Waiting for the opportunity now over the ball. Waratahs unable to get up. Joey Ward once again making the tackle. Now, Mark Talia, good step. Running sideways, taken down around the bootlaces, or is he? Yeah, he's still going. All available for the Blues. Sam Derry now. Thought about the inside ball to Satutu, but we'll hang on to it. Christie now goes off to Zahn Sullivan. Mark Talia. The ball again. To the left. Comes Rico Ioane, tackled by Holloway. And Cheetah's on the wings. Yeah, I think they've got to be, don't they? Oh, almost a turnover. Yes, it is the Waratahs. Get the ball back in the breakdown. And now kick downfield from Harry Wilson 2.0. Now, Harry Plummer. Oh, there's a lot of Harrys out there at the moment. Now, looking for the 50-22. Going back for the advantage. Hey, guys. Obi. Hello, Obi. Chimpanzee at number 10. You think... The thing is, my first thought was something in the ape family, which is not called the ape family. There's another name for it, isn't there? Primate? No. But I was thinking something along those lines just because, you wouldn't go with a gorilla because he's a bit too big, but you could go gorilla at 12, an option. Rhino the hooker, hippo prop elephant number 8. I love how this has become everyone's now in their brain working out exactly what animals. like, I feel like everyone is like, yeah, there's a game of rugby going on, but this is much more important. Just joined how the Blues holding up. They're doing all right. They've had a couple crucial errors, but now 5 metres out from the line. James Lay now out on the field. I believe that's for Nipolulala, who has gone off, but the rolling maul now, Ricky Riccatelli. This is looking now good for the Blues. Driving towards the line, but he's just ended up falling the same way as his teammates. Now still close, flattening out half an inch from the line. Now it's just a case of who wants it. James Lay only just got on the field, almost got the chance. Counter-ruck from the Waratahs. Stolen in the breakdown. No, it was illegal. Double blow whistle. Vailanu, I think, is going to get a short trip to a small chair. And that is 10 minutes in the bin. Giraffe at lock and Bear in the forward, says Laurie. And also we have got there, this is great chat. And Snake at fullback. Easily wrapped to the ankles. Oh, yeah. Although, it'd be a bit tricky for a snake because they're not very tall. All cobra, though. Cobra's a bit, stand up a little bit. Still not much, but still a tad. You could say that their defense is absolutely venomous when they get rolling. I don't own a drum kit anymore. I sold mine. It was too loud. Yeah, Wailanu, a little bit unlucky. That one, but ended up with a yellow card. Starting lineup from the sea, Orcas, whale, giant squid, game over. Says Blues and that. Yeah, they'd have a bit of a size advantage, wouldn't they? 5 metre scrum for the Blues, humans versus animals in a game of rugby. A cat for number 9. You think quick as a cat-like agility. Although you also need, I would have a meerkat as a number 9 or something like that. I feel like that's the best way of describing. Or you need someone, or it's an animal. So a cat's probably pretty decent. But you want something that's got a little bit of an attitude problem as well. That's normally the case with halfbacks. Sorry, halfbacks. Anyone who's watching. To be fair, I would probably be a halfback if I played rugby. Yeah. Now big scrum, big push. Advantage for the Blues. Satutu off to Christie. Short ball. Plummer gets close again. A wrestle down. Now Satutu round the side of the breakdown. Oh, bit of a tip there. Blues, quick hands. Rico. No, it's Zahn Sullivan who goes up the middle. Gets himself the tripolar bear, panda grizzly front row combo. Steers Obi there. That'd be a front row that's very like, it shouldn't be, but it would be kind of cuddly like, wouldn't it? Very soft front row. Rabbit number 7. Get going on it. I feel like the thing is, if we could somehow, anyone who comes in will think that we've taken a huge amount of substances. I was going to say the best way of doing it is to somehow make all of the animals approximately the same size. Just because then that way it's a bit easier to work out type thing. So you'd say a rabbit, but he's the same size as, let's say, roughly the rhinos in the front row. That makes sense. So like you'd have, a rabbit at blind side or a loose, on the other side, open side, but then it'd still not be the size of a rabbit. No brainer, giraffe in the line out? Yeah, it's got to be. Wouldn't even need to jump. Sullivan, though, very heavy man, gives Bowden Barrett a big rub on the head. Says, you beauty. 1 minute remaining in the half. Waratahs slow to get back to halfway. And Zahn Sullivan has been playing very well. Yeah, since coming on the field for Petafeta, seems like he's having quite a nice impact. Maybe Bowden Barrett could have 10, says the snooze. It's still that 3-horse race, isn't it? Mackenzie, Moonga, and Barrett. I feel like at the moment there's not really too many other options that are right up there in that same hunt. Petafeta at a stretch, I guess you could say, as an option for fly half, but he hasn't really had the chance for the Blues there. This is for the All Blacks, that is. Now, Darry Going back to Bowden Barrett. Zahn Sutherland looking for the kick downfield. Normally very good at the 50-22s and has kicked it almost the full length of the field there. Now, 40 metres out. There's the siren. That's halftime. That'll be the end of it. 20 points to 7 at halftime in this contest. Looking now at the odds. The Waratahs, they were $13 underdogs. Now they sit $31 underdogs, although they are only 2 converted tries behind. Even the Blues to win by 1 to 12 is $6.50 New Zealand. So that's actually quite high. They expect a runaway here for the Blues. The question is, though, is that how it's going to end up going? Or do we think that there will be a little bit of a change? Maybe the Waratahs get themselves the first try. George Motivation stretch time says the snooze. Yeah, we miss him, don't we? Adds a lot of, I guess you could say, not just entertainment, but unpredictability to these live streams. Whitelock is an elephant man, predictable, and gets knocked around. Peter Gus for lock or number 8, and Sam Kane. This is Mumbo Jumbo. And try already miss it. Says Spider Mick. Yeah, we are at halftime at the moment. I'm getting advertised dryers and washing machines. That's very fun. Good half of rugby. Blues not playing their best. But should come back stronger, says Rugby Itch. Are you currently live, Rugby Itch, or do you want to pop on for a bit of a chatter? Halftime, the Kiwi Lads show quiz, the Hippo. Says Blues now. I think Blues are going to get sparked after the sheds. Says the snooze. Right, we were going to look up some Hippo facts. We will do just that. Hippo facts. We can see them play. Says McTube, you certainly can. Not here, though, unfortunately. We don't have the licensing that you would need to be able to show anything. Unfortunately, all the way Blues, says a man there. And I was like, I can come on, says Rugby Itch. Right. The good news is you can't catch what I've got at the moment through StreamYard. So you're all good. You will not end up sick from me. I should put that in like a disclaimer. Be like, hey, you will not get sick. There we go. We'll put you there. We'll go like that. We'll slam you there. Slam you lightly. There you go. Should be all good. We're going to be looking at facts about hippos, ladies and gentlemen. Who doesn't love a hippo fact? It's a very fun day. That is for sure. And let's go. Timmy says Blues Nader all the way the Blues. Says a man. There, but yeah, the Blues 13 points ahead at the moment. They'll be happy enough with that start. It's just whether or not they... Well, there's a lot that they can improve on from that first half. Not Gus and Vi. Razor will have to rebuild when Whitelock and Retallick eventually finish. Well, I think here's an idea. Or not an idea, just a little Razor, Crusaders. He loves his boys there. Someone like a Dom Gardner. Has he got a future in the ABs? Maybe like 4 or 5 years down the line? Just because like he's been going pretty good for the Crusaders at the moment. He's a young guy. Hippos are deadly. They are. They're scary things. Is why we are going to talk all about them at halftime. Halftime, is it time to play my Bowden Barrett King? Spider Mick, and also Hippos have 36 teeth. I did not know that. How many teeth do we have? Like 32? How many teeth a human have? We're going to have to do a Google of this. How many teeth does a human have? 32, that wasn't bad. I just moved my tongue around my mouth. You ready, Tim? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back again by popular demand, I will say. Hello, Tim.
You all good?
I am all good. You are very small. Hang on, we'll get you a bit bigger. There you go.
Whoa, what is this?
This is weird, isn't it? It's a bit messy.
Good, man.
How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good, man. Yeah, no, heading back to the UK tomorrow. So yeah, no, it's been a good kind of a relaxing trip here in Hong Kong. Been a bit of a downtime essentially. Got a bit of work done. So yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. And then I'll be happy to make some more videos when I come back straight away. Got some in mind already. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Good. Do you know much about hippos?
Hippos. I should, as I am partly Zimbabwean, but no, unfortunately, I don't.
Well, lucky for you, we're going to learn all about them during this halftime break, Tim.
Oh, let's get it.
So how long have you been in Hong Kong, though? First of all, you've been there for about a month, haven't you? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, in total it's meant to be 3 weeks essentially. Yeah, no, it's just been really just here for the Easter break, and then I'll be back in the UK essentially. And I mean, look, the thing is that like this is essentially my last holiday in a while, because I'm going to be in the UK the whole of the summer, and the next actually time I actually get out of the UK will be for the World Cup actually in France. So yeah, no, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Good. I'm just rearranging us a little bit so
No
that
worries.
you have
No
a
worries.
bit more space. There we go. We're a bit more spread out now. Boom. Hippos kill about 500 people each year. Angry things they are.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know actually one of my family friends, one of my dad's friends within South Africa. He's a game what is it, guide essentially, like within like safaris and that, and he actually got his arm bitten off by hippo. So yeah, not the best. They're definitely dangerous. Let's just say that for sure. They're definitely dangerous.
I've definitely brought on the right person then. Like, whereabouts on the arm? Like, we got the arm.
It was the whole arm.
The whole.
Literally,
What did he do to the hippo?
No, but the thing, what happened was that they're in, I believe, Victoria Falls at the time, and they do like some kind of like how to explain it. They have like these what kind of ship is it? It's it's like a very small it's not a pontoon, but it's like more like just a bigger ship than that, more like for fishing, kind of like that kind of size. And essentially, you can take people out on like tours essentially within Victoria Falls, and of course, the hippos were, I guess, like coming at them in a dangerous fashion, and he obviously wanted to save the people on board. So yeah, he kind of took the action himself to do it. But yeah, it is kind of crazy because again, I've never actually met him in real life, but I've seen tons of pictures actually of it, and just it's it's not the best.
So the thing that confuses me about these hippos, right?
Yeah, what's
Like,
up?
they don't eat the parts that they bite off, though, do they? I think they just do it out of anger.
Yeah,
Like,
it is really angry.
they eat plants, don't they?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, no, you are right with that. Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think a hippo would probably scare me the most out of any animal. I know this kind of sounds crazy, but like out of all like the what is it, the big five essentially, within safaris and that, the hippo is the one like where if you just see it in the water, like just coming in, like it goes like ooh, they're just coming in, it's like oh my god, like get the engine on, like run, get out of here, because it can literally just it can get you in a heartbeat. But yeah, I definitely want to be. I wouldn't want to be close to a hippo. That's for sure.
No, because when you think of like, you're like, oh, I don't want to go near the lion and whatnot. But yeah, hippo's underrated, I guess you could say. Like, they didn't make a game called Hungry Hungry Lions, did they?
No, they really didn't. They really didn't.
No. Did you know the gestation period of a hippo is 243 days?
No, I didn't. No.
That's a long time, but not really. That's less than a human, isn't it?
You know what we should do is that we should put a little video on here watching National Geographic about their take on hippos.
We watched a hippo run yesterday. Fun fact. It was enjoyable. Even the crocodiles don't mess with hippos. Yeah, they know how it is. Like, they're big things when they get going. Did you know a hippo can identify friends from enemies? So all you got to do is just be its friend, and it'll be like, "Oh, it's you."
No, see, I think what happens is that if you actually wave at it, I think it now sees you as your enemy. I actually do the opposite. I walk away.
Give it the crotch shot.
Yeah, that's another way of doing it. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. Yeah. That the only animal are elephants. Okay. I'm not sure. Is that true?
Like, they literally are born 30 to 50 pounds. Can you imagine if a baby was 50 pounds when it popped out of a human?
No, I really can't.
Can you see that picture vividly in your head of that human again?
No. The thing is that, like, I mean, obviously I never saw it happen, but the youngest memory that I ever have, like, ever, was when was when my sister was born, essentially, like when I was like 3 years old. That's like the youngest memory. I don't know why, but it's just a memory I always have. Of course, like I said, I didn't see anything happen, but it's just more like, I see the nurse bring out my sister essentially and pass it over to my mom. That's like the youngest thing that I ever remember. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to. Oh God, Spider Mac, what are you doing, mate? I ride a hippo once in my dreams. Fair enough.
Fun. That's the thing. Like, you can ride some animals to a certain
Yeah.
extent. I don't think hippos are one they'll ever try and saddle up. Even though they'd be quick to get places, and you could probably put quite a few in an area, like on the back. But, yeah. Someone mentioned about their sunscreen, that it's the best form of sunscreen, the oil from their skin. And one of their, like, kind of stats is they produce their own sunblock.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's true. It's very true.
They eat 80 pounds of grass each night. 80 pounds. That's like, how much that's like a half of me of grass.
That is true. That is true.
Boy, are they getting busy.
I mean, I do like a steak, but definitely not that size of steak. Let's just say that for sure. But gosh.
They hold their breath for an average of 5 minutes as well. Brandon's walked in on a real confused stage.
What's happening?
Talking about hippos, Brandon. Currently half time in the Blues Waratahs game. Second half not too far away. We need inform ABs, not seasons. Oh, that's a big word. You went to uni. What does that word mean, Tim?
Oh God, I chocolates. No clue, mate. No clue. Unfortunately, that's not my area of expertise there.
That's all right. So what did you think of the first half? 20 points to 7. Are you happy with the result so far?
I mean, yes, of course you can be happy as we are winning, of course. So there's definitely not. I cannot be happy with that, but we could also be doing a bit better. It's just really the conditions, really, of the game. Very slippy. The ball, of course, very wet conditions. So yeah, I guess at times the Blues have been a bit, not I'm saying unfortunate, but just a bit clumsy in terms of their just catching the ball, passing it out towards the wide wing. I mean, I do like the idea of because the Blues have tried a lot within this game to kick it far within the right wings or left wings and get Clark and Talea into the action. But at the same time, I'm not even sure that's the right idea for this kind of match just because of the conditions. So maybe they just have to stick towards the middle really of this. But hey, you never know. Maybe it can all change from that second half.
Very true. I've seen that 50 pounds is like a 10-year-old child. Yeah, that wouldn't be easy to push out, We're talking scientifically. We've also got, I'm going to play netball with a tennis ball. Yeah. Nate's having a great time. And also we have got their hippos aren't great, are they? They're great. Apparently, there's one good thing that they do. And hippos serve an integral role in their ecosystems. Enormous size leads itself to create microhabitats for smaller organisms. They facilitate habitats for fish populations by repeatedly walking on common pathways from water sources to inland areas. There you go. So they do it for the fish.
There you go.
Still doesn't make me feel better about them killing 500 people a year, though.
It's very
for the fish. But, So, Tim, we're going to leave you on a good question. Are you ready? And it's not to do with hippos.
Oh, damn. I was really hoping for a question on hippos.
Rhinos, no. Second half, first try scorer for the Blues. Who's it going to be? If you get it exactly right, you win something that's not disclosed yet because I haven't thought of anything.
You get a fist bump.
Big old fist bump.
I will say, oh gosh. You know what? It's a very niche one, but I'm gonna say Patch Tripolota.
Oh, a lock? Okay.
Very niche
Unique.
One. I know. Okay. That's what's gonna make it even more better when I get it,
The thing is, I've been going through the TAB looking at the way that these odds have been changing throughout the contest. Luckily, when your account says 0, they still let you on to look at the odds. So, for Tuipulotu to be the 4th try scorer in this match is $31. So
There
he
you
is
go.
the second, or in fact third, sorry, highest paying Blues player to get themselves a try.
There you go.
Maybe. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're not.
You should bet
Oh
on that for
well.
me. You should bet on
You
that for me,
think?
by the way.
With
Yeah.
my $0. No, I got 15 cents in my account. Should I put that on Patrick Tuipulotu for you?
Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it now. You've put it into existence. I mean, it's just you just got to do it.
Mm. Right, second half underway, Tim. So we will leave you to it.
Of course.
Hope you enjoy the second half. We might see you again later on.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Of course. Yeah.
Alrighty. See you later.
Yeah. See you guys.
Here we go, and we will go like that. Yes. Transition beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back into the contest. Patrick Tuipulotu to score the first try in the second half. You heard it first from the man of this rugby match. They're monitoring that. We also have here alongside Roof and everyone. Second half just getting underway. The Blues are only sitting 10 metres out from the line, but nice work there in the breakdown from the Tars, and they do get themselves the first turnover. A nice hello to that nice looking chap in the middle as well, says Roof. So that was Rugby Itch Tim. We have done a few collaborations in the past. The Waratahs, I should mention, also only playing with 14 men on the field. And later, Timmy, take care. My voice, it actually wasn't going too bad at half time. It was all the talk of Hippos got me excited. Here we go. Water is good for you. That's what they say. This and like this and like. Player names back up on our screen. Just looking through at the bench and stuff, got some strong players come off the bench here for the Blues. Patrick Tuipulotu, he's in the starting lineup, like we mentioned, but replacing him, whether or not they go with the Kiri. Oh, no, that's another big mistake. Too long from the Waratahs at line-out time. That is a massive mistake to have made. But yeah, they've got a Kiriwani, Cameron Suathor. Both of those guys could be in the loose forward trio rather than in the locks if they do want to leave them out there the whole time. And it's been a while. But good to be in the channel again. Welcome back, Junior Rider. It has been months, hasn't it? It's been a good old long period. So it is great to have you back. I'm currently sick, but the voice will come back soon. Oh, it's a knock on in the breakdown, I believe, from the Blues, or is it just play on? It's play on, they say, and it's actually an advantage against the Brumbies. They're not playing. The Waratahs ball up now to Sam Derry. Right, they are close to the line now. Finley Christie goes to the short side. I'm looking around for Patrick Tuipulotu. He's got his hand up and he says, I want this ball, please. Does receive it now. Tuipulotu. No, they went with the inside ball to Sam Derry. He's going to be held up. But they'll go back, I believe, for the original advantage. Did they have one? No, they might end up having a goal line dropout here. Timmy's a cool guy. He certainly is. Rabic heading back from Hong Kong very soon by the sounds of it. Going to be heading back to the UK. Big deep breaths taken by Latu here. Tolo Latu, he did come on before the halftime, or just after halftime, I should say, I believe. By Lanu replaced in that department. Sam Derry getting close, one of the locks for the Blues. Back to work for another killer weekend and cold, wet rain. Cape Town, big run from Hoskins to Tutu. Great work there. Someone called Pumpkin Man invited me to a party. I assume that's one of you guys. Who is that? Do let me know. And do you think Super Rugby will expand again, says Junior Rider? Eventually, they might consider adding another team from maybe it's tricky because from here you probably got other options, Japan, but I don't know whether they'll go to that yet. Nice run around the side for Hoskins to so I think it's pretty locked in for the next little while. I don't see them going back down from the 12 teams, though. I think that will stick around for a while. Now, looking for the option. Finley Christie goes off to offer. Tuanga Fussy getting close. Now, after Zahn Sullivan, straight through, scores the try. Now, Tuipulotu was ready on the left, but Sullivan decided to go himself. He wanted another try, and he gets it. Second of the match for Zahn Sullivan. Keep grinding, or just grinding away like an old hacksaw. Greetings, Morena Nate, Miss Damish. Here's Ruth. And glass of whiskey. You can clear your voice, Sammy. Says Butterman can go. The Blues goes. Here's Reed. And to me, that's a one Blues all the way. Where's Barrett? Has shown any spurts of brilliance. He's had a couple moments. He hasn't been fantastic in this game overall, though. It seems to be actually those other guys who are making their real moves in the background. The likes of Azan Sullivan, who's come on the field and had instant impact, scored himself 2 tries. A kick from Bowden Barrett has gone over. I think we're going to see Tim Rugbyitch very soon in the chat if he's just seen that try. Watch out for the Waratahs. They're sneaky, says Roof. They are, although they're now making it a lot harder for themselves. They do sit 27 points to 7 down. That's a 20-point difference. And breakdown way better, Hamish, says the snooze. Breakdown way better. Is that the Blues breakdown or the actual show, the breakdown? And also, what's up, bro? Good to meet you. And yeah, man, hope all is good. Hey, brother Blues Nate, hope you're well, my man. David there. And tries keep rolling in. Yeah, now they are sitting in the case of almost a bonus point. Dylan Petch, he looks like he's going to be done for the evening, unfortunately. That's a shame for them. He's been playing quite well. Back for the Tars. And also, we have got there the Blues, says the snooze. Yeah, baby Blues are rocking the field. Powerful. Roof and Rugby Sevens 2024. It certainly will be coming back in 2024. Also in about 3 weeks' time for the Toulouse Sevens. All the sides will have nothing to lose and just play good. I'll work on the transition. We've still got 3 weeks. So they are making another change. Lambert off the field now for the Waratahs. Rather see an audio with George on his tractor. There's Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Yeah. It'd be interesting because I think he has some very deep thoughts while he's in his tractor in terms of like trying to solve world hunger and working out all the little things that he's going to do on Farming Simulator later on in the day. Thrown in by Latu, nicely claiming me personally, I think should expand to 14 teams, then it would make sense to have the top 8, says Junior Rider. Yeah, 12 to 8 does seem a little bit close, doesn't it? It's not really cutting off too many sides out of the comp. But yeah, I don't think they'll add another New Zealand side. In Australia, I don't think they'd want to add a team for them, seeing as the ones that they've got Australian. Nice kick in mind from Finley Christie there. Now nicely taken by Dylan Peach. I thought his night was over, but it looks like he's going to continue at this stage, unless it wasn't Peach, that is. Whereas George, I believe he's either working or just at his place. But because I'm sick, I decided that we were better off not having him around just because I didn't want to get him sick for the week that is ahead. The Kiwi teams have dominated the competition this year. There's only been 1 year by the Australian team against the Kiwi teams all year, or 1 win, I believe that would be. Picked him behind, nicely taken by Isaiah Peresi. Still time on the board. Oh, it's a knock on from Ben Donaldson. Kicked him behind by Finley Christie, and I believe that will now be the line out for the Waratahs. Sitting 10 metres out from their own line. I bet $20 on the Blues winning. I just knew they wouldn't disappoint, says Knowledge. Weren't they paying $1.01, Knowledge? You end up, I hope you got better odds than the ones that they were at the start of the match, because or else then you might only be making like $1 if you're lucky. And sorry, not yeah. My English is bad sometimes, says Mr. Lachlan. No worries. Now, it's going to be actually Vailanu throwing this one back in. So the reason that Latu was on the field, that was due to that yellow card. Make a couple changes. Mostly taken there by Jed Holloway. Now Gordon goes across to Will Harris. Now, he had an explosive 2022 in Super Rugby, but since then hasn't really been able to find that same momentum. Nicely kicked high from Gordon. Can you read my message, says Brandon? I probably missed that. If you come to my live stream, do not come and talk about hippos. My friends go on and on, not PG. Like, no worries, we won't talk about hippos. We will just save the hippo talk for here. I feel like everyone's learned a lot about hippos today. Who was here for the halftime chat. I feel like out of everyone to pick, though, that Tim actually knew, or his dad knew someone got their arm bitten off by a hippo. I feel like that was kind of weirdly perfect for the scenario, not perfect for the man who got his arm bitten off, though. You think Leon McDonald will leave the Blues for the AB's assistant coach job? Not sure. It would depend on how much control he's going to be able to get, I think, and depending on the money, of course, as well. Super Rugby isn't that exciting anymore, to be honest, says Knowledge. It's one of those ones that I think, depending on how you feel about certain players, depends on how much you enjoy certain games. Because I always look at it as when I look at the two sides lining up, there's always like 5 miniature battles that I'm enjoying or enjoying the idea of. So I get to enjoy those throughout the match, if that makes sense. Coming to my live stream at 9:20? No, don't believe so. I am going to be quickly getting the thumbnail and everything done for Munster versus the Sharks. Then I might be heading to bed straight after this one. And also, don't mess with the Hippos. Great front rowers, says Joe Webby. Now the Blues winning themselves another penalty, 22 metres out from the line. Will now kick it to touch. That's about 6 metres out now. It'll be relatively tricky for them. Harry Plummer. Great low tackle made on him, though, by the Waratahs. It was just the fact that they couldn't get the player rolling away in time, Dylan Peach. And also Mr. Lachlan. That's where we missed the South Africa sides, like the Bulls and the Stormers, even the Jaguares. Made our Kiwi teams more resilient. But at least we got the Rugby Championship. Laurie. And speaking of the championships, coming up very soon. Rugby Championship, couple months' time, happening in June. Now, it looks like it is going to be a rolling ball here for the Blues, but the ball has gone down. Oh, that's awkward. I think Vailanu may have just done the splits. Now Zahn Sullivan looking for his hat trick. Gets very close to the line. Where's Tui Pelotu? Doesn't look like he's quite there for it. Another injury by the looks of it for Harry Wilson. Paul Williams just checks on him, makes sure he is going to be all right. Oh, he manages to get back over. Adrian Choke, 3 metres out from the line. Now around the side for Tuanga Fassi. Dropped on his face. Ricky Riccatelli, inches from the line. That is going to be over. Who's that? Is it Ricky Riccatelli this time? It certainly is. He gets himself his double. This year has been entertaining. There's been more tries and the ball is in play a lot more, says Junior Ryder. And Crusaders' comeback yesterday was good. Yeah, they're a weird side, the Crusaders, because they play badly at times and then they just fire back and win. They weren't able to do that in a couple of the earlier games of the season, but they did it well up against the Rebels. Waratahs is no more good, or no more good like a 4 years back, says Jonathan. That's the thing. The start of the Super Rugby season, a lot of people were picking the Waratahs or the Brumbies, but it was Waratahs or Brumbies, the top Australian side. But I don't think the Waratahs have quite been able to live up to that expectation as of yet throughout the Super Rugby season. They do need to get themselves in the top 8. That is one big thing. They can be in the top 8, then try and just win one of those quarterfinal games and get an upset. Like, that would certainly be handy enough for them. Super Rugby this year has been improved with Hippo facts, says Grant. That is true, although I don't know how many more Hippo facts you can find after we've got, like, the first 10. I feel like Hippos, like, don't get me wrong, they're great animals. They're only active, wait, it just said that hippos are only active at night. Oh, no, most active, sorry, rather than only. You got to read the fine print. So, yeah, only more active at night. One of the most aggressive animals on Earth. There you go. Do not hug the hippo. It's the rule. Skidding downfield, Ben Donaldson takes it just outside of his 22 now for the Waratahs. Gone very high. Jorgensen not getting near it. Christie also not really doing too well. But Zahn Sullivan here, he's had a fantastic game. Dowling now on the field. That is actually for... Wait, is that Ben Dowling? Is that who I think it is? Because if it's Ben Dowling, he's from the Sevens. Ben Dowling's not even in the Waratahs side. He was number 24. I don't know how that works, but number 24's come on the field for the Waratahs. And also, Fiji is going to be a good beer game. Pressure under a big home crowd might be what the boys need, says the snooze. One went into touch. Also, we have got their Crusaders need some nuclear energy to jolt them into action. Richie Moanga rocks as always and having toasted chicken mayonnaise for breakfast. Nice. See, it's weird because at the moment, after cooking tonight, I don't know whether it's because I'm sick and for some reason when I get sick, I sometimes get more motivated, but I feel like I want to cook something tomorrow night, but I'm not sure what to cook because I think I'm also possibly... I might be going fishing if I'm well enough. I don't know if I'll be well enough, though. Probably those bisons or buffalo stronger than a hippo. You need to pick a different animal for each weekend. That's actually a great idea, Flesh. And each weekend, do we go alphabetically? So, like, we're up to H, so we do I iguana next week? Or do we just slowly cross off safari? Now off to the right-hand side, Hoskins to 2-2. And agree different topics, says Nate. And Knowledge, just promoting Hippos. We got a donation from Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, said Waratahs have been in an 8-year drought, or 8-year drought against the Blues, a 7-year drought versus North Island teams, then only New Zealand wins been against the South Island teams. So they have struggled big time. It explains why they are such underdogs. Bodie performed. He's been all right. He hasn't been one of the standouts, though. So far, Shane Hamish, good hearty chicken noodle soup with a miso paste and lots of warm clothes. There's Roof. Quick take from Bowden Barrett. Doesn't want this game to slow down at all. Another kick, Bowden Barrett. That's going to be accidental offside, is it? Oh, offside against the Waratahs. So the Blues, they do get themselves another penalty. I reckon with Australia, when Australia expanded their franchise, was a bad before, or because it thinned out the talent. And because they're competing so much with the NRL at the moment in terms of what side to go, dude really wanted to be heard, says Evan there. But with the donation, he got a good shout. He had some good stats in there. Tell you what, Mr. Lachlan, we'll put it back up on the screen once again for you. We do stick all the messages up there. It was a little bit quick, wasn't it? 2 Cents Rugby has a halftime beer trivia. Kiwi Lads brings the animal facts, says Grant there. We've got something in the future, 2 Cents. Once he gets back to New Zealand, we have got something slightly planned, hopefully. Keep an eye out for that. He's been on the channel, I think, twice now. Twice or 3 times. It's taken a while to get him, mainly because we couldn't work out what type of video we wanted to do. So in the end, we just had him on watching memes with Tony. That's a good ball to Caleb Clark. And that will be the try. Caleb Clark scores it. He's bleeding out his ear now, I think, as well. He had it on the chin a bit earlier on. You're a G, Mr. Lachlan, says Eben. Oh, it's a G's. How good are the Blues? How bad are the Waratahs, says Roof. And I think the Blues win by 40 plus. And I was even donated in it, says Knowledge there. And is this going to be a Bricks? Going to be a Bricks rugby team? What does Bricks mean? Blues seem to be unstoppable. Yeah, it seems like now 50 points is not too far away because they're currently on 41. So they only need not too many more points. That was a really bad way of saying they need 9 points for a half century. Blues on fire. Has Bowden Barrett scored? He has not. Caleb Clark has. Zahn Sullivan scored 2. Ricky Riccatelli has scored 2. And then I believe there's also another try scorer scattered throughout them. Oh, tell you what, the Waratahs almost just scored strictly off kickoff. Will Harris actually had to try and go for the kick in behind. Maybe she should have a halftime poll or 2 animal facts and 1 lie, and we vote for the lie. A good idea. You guys are full of good ideas. That's why I keep you guys round. You know? I'm surprised, though, when the regulars haven't gotten sick of me talking. I guess today, because I'm sick, it sounds different. So it's like someone else is doing it. It's 2 Cents still come to it. Cents with alcohol involved, with my bad not. And Blues 60 plus. Be impressive, wouldn't it? I know someone earlier on was asking, will the Blues get 40 plus points? They're betting. We didn't give them an answer, so they'll be annoyed because their rugby is all over the place. Next, they're going to play in Siberia or China, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. They play in China. 2 Cents Rugby will be able to go to the game. He's over there at the moment. Why was there a cameraman on a Segway on the field? Expected a better performance from Barrett, but he isn't playing bad either way, says Knowledge. Yeah, like, he hasn't been bad throughout this game. He just hasn't been one of the, I guess, the ones that you look at and go like, wow, he's had a great contest. And in fact, when you look at this back line, like he's been all right. He's been pretty solid. Zahn Sullivan, fantastic since coming off the bench. But like other than that, you probably say everyone else is in that same boat of kind of being like, yeah, no, they've gone all right, but they haven't done anything massive. Well, Caleb Clark's got his hands down past the ball there, so that's an advantage to the Waratahs. Yep. And also, you are such a good YouTuber. Keep doing what you're doing, says Jackson. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. We have got plenty more coming in the near future. You need to whack back a couple swigs of scotch, single malt. I mean, I've got water at the moment, which I guess isn't quite as good. I feel like I'm holding it like it's whiskey or some sort of alcoholic beverage. throat's going to be good tomorrow. We have actually got a late night live stream though, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be doing a stream at about 4:15 or 4:30 a.m., I believe it is. The match taking place between Munster and the Sharks. So be sure, keep an eye out for that. Barrett is still off his best. He was blowing hard at the Rebels game a couple of weeks ago. And also we have got Barrett makes a huge impact for the Blues and is a game changer, says Gita. And who's the GOAT in Super Rugby? I mean, DC's probably right up there in terms of when people think of old school Super Rugby. Someone like a Ma'anonu or Tana Umaga back in the day a bit further. And then if you go on even, I mean, Doug Howlett for me always stood out in terms of back-wise for the Blues anyway, since he joined the Blues. And what team do you go for? I'm pretty impartial. I do enjoy watching all these sides play. I like the Hurricanes kit the best just because it's yellow and I like yellow. Good to see Zahn Sullivan back in action. And yeah, already having 2 tries to his name throughout this contest. So a great way to come back into it. Now the Waratahs, they have got possession again. Now Jorgensen, a man who hasn't really had too much of a chance throughout this matchup. I'm a Canes fan, but do you think the ABs will be full of Crusaders players next year since Razor? Oh, straight through. Dylan Peach scores for the Tars. That is their second try. Their second try of the match. My voice is going. I'm a Canes fan. I read that one, didn't I? But, I mean, we're going to see his favourites in there, I think. Like, the players that he knows has potential. I really like King Carlos. And also we have got the Amish. I've always wondered what South African rugby team you support. If I had to pick one, like if someone was like, you have to pick one, it probably would be the Stormers, just because I feel like they've got a very good balance of forwards and backs. So I'd probably go with them. But that's only like a little tiny bit ahead of the other teams, if I had to pick. 20 minutes remaining. Waratahs trying to cancel out that bonus point at this point. I still have Hippo facts actually up on my screen, fun fact as well. On the other one, they're endangered, and Arsenal have bottled the league, says Mr. Cookie Boy, because they had a good start, didn't they, old Arsenal? Getting themselves quite a few early points on the table. Great run from Dylan Peach, though. Not giving up for his side. Who's your favourite player currently? Ooh. It's raining at the moment at Eden Park. They've just said current player. Tricky to pick one. Like it was Artie Savi a while ago, but like Sean Stevenson's up there. The way that he's been able to play recently, I feel like he's getting up there on that list. Comeback. Don't know about a comeback, but we will see maybe 1 or 2 more tries from the Waratahs. I just don't think it will get them to the point of being in the lead. They've given away another advantage here. Knock on the field for Finley Christie. Mark Talia, though, will be the man playing halfback. Goes off to Akiriwani. To his brother Rico. Now Hoskins to Tutu. Talia off to the right again. Akiriwani. Breaking the line. Goes to Mark Talia. Dragged down an awkward tackle from Ben Donaldson. Knock. Cross to Barrett. Cameron Suafua hit hard. In the midfield, another advantage in favour of the Blues. Harry Plummer with the step. Goes to Barrett. Tries to reach out. He's hit the post with it and it's been stolen in the breakdown, I believe, by the Waratahs. Well, has it? Yes, they do have it. So it will be a penalty in favour of the Waratahs. Bowden has bottled it. Oh, no. He was already playing advantage, so the Blues will get themselves the penalty. And welcome to the Stormers family, Hamish. I've always known you're a smart lad, says Grant. You've got to keep it hush-hush, though, Grant. We can't go around telling everyone. 2003 Blues back in the day was deadly. Rupini, Howlett, Gear, and Rocafoko, yeah. Very good players. We've got a super sticker from Kerr. Welcome back, Kerr. You are doing very well. Now, I always ask this when I first see you. Whereabouts in the world are you today? Can imagine a Russian team bolstered South African players. They've got over. Who is it this time? It looks like Sam Derry. Yeah, it is. I think number 5, the lock for the Blues, manages to get himself the try. And that now puts them just a little bit closer to the half century. I'm just quickly doing my Google or my YouTube thingamabob so I can see what the super sticker is. I assume it's a wave, though, at a guess. It is a sideways lying bean or pear, I think it is, saying, how's it going? Doing very well. Other than the fact that I'm sick. I've been sick all week, sadly. Missed work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thought I was getting better, then went downhill. But we've still got live streams on. Next one, Sharks Munster in the middle of the night. Just left Miami yesterday, heading to Bermuda. Nice. Geez, you cover some turf, don't you? Have you got one of those maps that you scratch off when you've been to a country? I feel like if you had that, your map would be just lit up with all sorts of places. And I feel like it would be quite cool getting to experience all the different cultures. And also, we have got there. I noticed that last night watching the Rebels game. Says Kerr there. And also, what is the next game? Next game I am doing is Sharks versus Munster for the URC. One moment. I'll quickly get you the exact time. I know it's 4-something a.m., 4:15 a.m. New Zealand time is when we are doing the next game. And yeah, hopefully should go all right. I think I'm going to have a sleep beforehand just to try and sleep it off a little bit more. And also, do you watch the NBA? And if you do, who's your favorite team? I don't really. I want to get into it, but every year I say that, and every year I don't get a chance to watch as many games as I like to. So I feel like for next season, I've got to pick a team and just try and watch all their games. I feel like that would be quite a cool way of doing it. The rain is absolutely pouring down now in Eden Park. It was torrential downpour earlier on in the contest. Now it looks worse. What I was trying to say before I turn into a teenage boy, which is a weird sentence to say. 48 points to 14 at the moment. The kick was successful. You can hardly see the players. They need to turn the exposure and brightness and whatnot up and down to try and see them a bit more. Fussy on the interview at the moment. 125 matches. I already bet Sharks on that. Their squad looks balanced. I have to say the Bulls Leinster game, it was tempting to want to do it, but yeah, I should probably sleep first and then wake up at the random hour and go from there. Leave Bermuda in a couple of days. Sail across the Atlantic to Ireland. See, I feel like the way you go, right, you got a globe. And it seems like with the amount of places you're able to go, you just spin it with the eyes closed and go, yep, that's where we're heading, then do it again. Bermuda to Ireland. That's a big shot on Sam Knott. Ends up sliding back. They'll go back for the penalty. Blue not staying straight. And also, hopefully, Waratahs can cut the lead to 35 for my multi. Says E-Dog, and I won. Says Spider-Meek there. Yeah, at the moment, the Blues sitting very nicely with the Waratahs. 22 metres out from the line. It will be their number 22 kicking this one for the touchline. We have also got there, but what if you land on a dump, though? Well, then the good news is you're only there for a little bit of time. You know, you continue going, oh, no, they've had... Is that a massive Caleb Clark head? Where does one even get those? Because I've seen them a lot at the game. Don't oversleep, bruv. I'll be waiting for your commentary. Says, no, don't worry. I'll set like 17 alarms. Make sure that I'm up in time. Nicely taken by Will Harris. In fact, they have got the penalty advantage again. Now, Latu getting forced slightly backwards. 13 minutes remaining on the clock. They've got time. Little kick in behind. It's skidding. Oh, it goes too far. He's going to hit into the barricade as it turned into WWE. Jeez, he hit that barricade hard. That is not a light barricade as well. That's the thing. We watch that kind of move in, like I mentioned, WWE. We watch that. They're trained professionals. Dylan Peach, as a rugby player, is not trained to smash into a barricade like that. That would have hurt. And the worst that he's got from it is a little graze on the elbow. The man's made of steel. Most players would have stayed down, I would have thought. Well, maybe not most, but some who hit it at that pace wouldn't have felt too flash. You've upset Gareth picking the Stormers, says Flesh, and I think I have, sadly. It was a secret, though. You know, so no one knows. I think I've been a member for a month too, but I haven't joined in it, says Knowledge there. And why is it the second half is where the Kiwi teams put big scores on the Aussie? I think it's just the conditioning. New Zealand teams seem to have a lot more gas in their tank for the later stages. And also the member comment I should mention from Kerr, Been a month already. You're flying by. You've got the bronze badge. And I do like that bronze badge, but the one that I like, to be honest, out of all of them, I think I like the stock standard one or the gold. I think the gold is also very nice. Looking for it. But the bronze is a nice little metallic, you get a taste of it. Is that a sentence? Not really. The Stormers just won something domestic. I saw their profile pic on Facebook, but didn't read it. They won their game up against Benetton, but I'm not sure about other than that. And George might spot his soulmate while driving his tractor. Could do. I feel like, to be honest, George, he's a very good operator of that tractor. But I feel like one day he's going to crash into someone's car, and that will be the car of a nice lady that he will then marry. We'll say that'll be how it happens. Ramming a car, and then Dylan Peach doing well. But turnover for the Blues, I should mention. Aussie trained in casuals at Wallabies camp, and media criticise it. Do you think it matters? Wait, trained in casuals? No, I don't think. Of course, people are going to be like, you should train in a team kit and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if it's comfy and it's effective, just wear it in it. Stormers won the Shield, says Danston. Also, Cable Clark, the next big thing for the All Blacks, getting closer to the likes of Jonah Lomu. He's got a bit of work to do. Jonah Lomu knew how to catch the ball, but no, he's getting better, Caleb Clark, as time goes on. He had a bit of a rough season. I think it was last year. He was a little bit non-existent, but been working on his game heavily, and he can always do what Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's done and go to Union or go to League if he needs to. 10 minutes remaining. Waratahs are fighting for this ball in the breakdown. And I was trained in casuals. Wallaby, no, I read that one. And he's yet to catch a ball, let alone hang on to it, says Mumbo Jumbo. And what I wouldn't give to swap out the Aussie teams for the South Africans. Expecting the Waratahs to even the score. Not even it, but I think the Waratahs are going to score again. That is my unexperted analysis. Advantage now. You watch the NRL. I watch a bit of it, not as much as I wanted to this year, but we're hoping to do a couple streams maybe of it in the future. And also proven you make difference to output in studies. I'm regarding uniform. I can word it like that for ease. Okay, so scientifically, if they're wearing the same thing, they should do better. So maybe that's why they were criticising it. There you go. Hanoi, Kerr's spitting facts. Does that mean because at my other job, in fact, both of my jobs, I don't wear a uniform. Does that mean that I'm probably slacking? I do. Although for one of them, I think I'm working 2 jobs or for 2 people, but that's just me. And also, what a cool name. Says David, and Blues to get to 50. Yeah, at the moment they're working on it. 8 minutes remaining on the clock, but 5 meters out from the line. Going to be a chance here for the Waratahs. Latu about to throw it in. Fine Arnuku, Mark Talia, right wings, Jordan and Stevenson. It depends on Jordan, really, doesn't it? In terms of if he wants 14 or if he wants fullback. Because I think whatever he wants, Foster will go, okay, so you want that? You can do the other one. Just because that seems to be the way they do it. So he needs to reverse psychology. And wow, rushing up there, but nice stepping. The Waratahs over the line. And it will be another try for them. And yes, I think they mentioned that the camp seemed unprofessional and the attitude would have lifted it. We're all decked out, or lifted if they were all decked out in Aussie gear. Says Hanoi. Maybe budget cuts didn't allow it. They are trying to sign Joseph Suali'i for 2025. Maybe they've already had to make some cuts to be able to make it happen. Mind sharing what you do to work, says Knowledge. So, I guess the best way of describing it, although we'll quickly describe this try, it was the halfback actually who managed to pierce his way through 3 tackles, including Sam Knock, his opposite number. But yeah, for work, the way that it normally goes is, of course, I do the YouTube, but that is more of what I call either hobby or part-time, even though it's full-time in terms of hours. Then alongside that, I also work as a builder or kind of builder, but I also do quite a bit of work with concrete as well. So at the moment, what we're doing is a big storage shed, concrete slabs, so getting that all prepared and whatnot. So I do that. And then also alongside that, only a couple of weeks ago, I got offered a job working as what we ended up calling a PR marketing advisor for a bowling kind of entertainment building. But at the moment, I am doing training as a bowling assistant so that I have that under my belt as well. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I work that job. Mondays and also mornings during the week, I work the building, and then Friday also building, and then Saturday, Sunday, Friday, and whatever other days is live streaming and editing. A lot to do with teamwork and mental attitude. Apparently, subconsciously, some uniform immediately tells your body to trust and work together, help everyone or someone else, for example. Really? I have to tell my bowling job about that. They're just like, we're black. I'm like, all right, fair enough. I'm decked out in Puma gear at the moment for work. So I seem like I'm sponsored, but I'm not. Blues, I cried myself to sleep. For the Chiefs, irony defense was solid. Unlucky for the Canes. And I like your picks, Nate. Ronnie now 10-meter line out for the Blues. They did just concede a try. Now looking to get themselves one back with Sawani Vakina. Throwing the ball in nicely to Akira Ioane. Now Hoskins Tutu goes off short side. Getting close there, Ioane. It's very slippery out there, and he has slid over. Scored himself another try. This game's going to have probably 70-plus points being scored throughout this contest. Everyone stand up. Okay, they want to check this one again by the sounds of it. Do I wear gloves with concrete? My skin used to burn off, or do you? I burn off if I didn't wear gloves. Yeah, they're not really too flash of gloves. Like, they're just similar to gardening gloves, just a little bit more sturdy so that you can still feel what you're doing. You know, when you wear a pair of gloves and you've got no feeling in your fingers, like when you try and pick up a nail, you're sitting there like this. You can't quite get it. That's why I got those other ones, so they're pretty good. But yeah, that concrete slab's being poured on Thursday. It's a big area. It's a nice one. My dad's been working very hard on getting it prepared. I've been helping him along the way. That looked like it was almost a knock-on the ground from Rieko Ioane, but then he flattened out over the try line. Oh, does he just have it in his hands? It'll be an interesting one. But yeah, that's going to be on Thursday. So that'll be Thursday morning's gig. And then after that, I believe I'm going to be working till about 9:30 p.m., somewhere around there. And Kane's result was not what I needed before 30 hours travel from Singapore to Miami. SK, that would have been a bit rough. I've just heard the door. I wonder if they're coming to talk to me or they are just in the room. My mum is keen on a TV watching experience. This days is a try. You want to say hi to the peeps, Mum? She said, how's it going? I don't know whether it came through or not. She's just off to the side of the green screen, ladies and gentlemen, watching the score, thinking, geez, no, I'm not finished yet. Still live. 5 minutes remaining. 55 points to 21. Pretty one-sided, isn't it? Yeah. The iPad ran out of juice. Nicely taken by Akira Ioane there. And is Bodie playing tonight? He is. He's been all right this game so far, Bowden Barrett. Like, he's done about a 7 out of 10, I'd say. Another penalty goes the way of the Waratahs. They will now look to counter with a try of their own. Hi, Mum, says Kerr. She gave a big wave. I'm back. Busy, lots of customers in the shop. Big Africa Burn Festival next week. 48 points for the Blues. Can they get 50? Beautiful. They certainly did. 55 to 21 at the moment. We've already had 76 points in this contest, and the Waratahs are looking to add more to that. It's been a good game overall in terms of the scoring. Defense at times has been a little bit rough. This question was relevance to Seb. Do you sell red wine in the bowling alley? I don't think so. I think they've got white wine, but not red. Do you think it's something to do with stains? Or is that because Seb likes blood? Maybe can mix it in a little bit so that no one notices. How many more games the Blues have? I mean, they've got, I believe, another 4 or 5 of the regular season, and then they've got the rest, which is quarterfinals and etc., depending on how far that they go. How's the 18-year-old for the Tars going? Jorgensen, he's been looking good. Hasn't had as much of the ball as a few of the other contests, but certainly a bright future for him. as well. And also, yay, Amish 55 points for the Blues, says Roof. Akiriwani back in action, says Blues Nate. He's been looking. He hasn't done too much, but hasn't done too little so far. There's a massive Caleb Clark hit again. I wonder how much it costs to print one of those out. Seb had an interesting experience at a bowling alley with wine drinkers. Really? Did they like throw it on them or something? Like that? Instead of pick of one of my nice boats on Discord, if you're on there, I'm going to have a look at one of your nice boats too, Kerr. That's a big boat. It's a huge boat. In fact, what I can do for you, Kerr, because we're such good buddies, I think, at least on my end, I'll put that picture up on the screen for you so everyone can know what boat you're talking about. That is one of the boats that Kerr does have. Look at that. Huge. There's a pool there. I think that's a slide, a bouncy castle at the back, or a gazebo of some sort. Plenty to do. Plenty to see. Out on the sea, isn't it? Now the Waratahs, 2 minutes remaining. Off to the right hand side. Oh, big shot there. Brilliant tackle by Rico Ioane. Now Adrian showed all the voice. Come on, we got 2 minutes to go. And also a whole 2-hour live stream later on, of course. Now, Sam Knock crossed to Kiriwani. Back to Mark Talia. And Hamish Gibbelsu, mate, says Ruth, thank you very much. Fingers crossed by tomorrow, it should be all good. Maybe. Bowling alley is so much fun, lots of flying balls, says Ruth. And I have cleaned a lot of those flying balls so far, Ruth. Getting very good at cleaning balls. Almost too good, some would say. And the bowling balls are no. Now 1 minute remaining. 40 meters out from the line. The Tars again looking to strike. No, I don't believe them scoring again would cancel out the try. Or sorry, the bonus point. And also we have got to have fun, folks. Hamish get well soon. Trampoline area at the back here. I don't think I'd feel safe jumping on a trampoline on a boat. Definitely if it's like open, because I feel like, what if you go off that side and you just, where you go? Oh, he's in the water. A website. I took that picture last week, taken from the North Star on board a Spectrum of the Seas. And a bouncy castle in an open sea sounds like it is an extreme sport. Yeah, it would get real trippy, I would think. There's indoor skydiving on one of the ones as well, I think he mentioned. Or something like that. A nice short ball from the Tars again. It's just solid defense, though, from the Blues. Not willing to let them through. They've actually been forced to go for the kick, and now 20 seconds left. Let's see if the Blues can get themselves one more. Zahan Sullivan, ball on the outside to Mark Talia, the most space that he has had throughout this whole entire contest. Thinks about the offload, but then actually goes, no, I'm Mark Talia, I don't pass. Now Sam Knock going back across to the left-hand side. Was that too harsh? Probably. Cameron Suafua. Across to Sam Knock to the left-hand side. Bowden Barrett. Now to Rico Ioane. Nice looping run. There was obstruction, so the Tars do get themselves the penalty. And Knowledge. Can you give me a one cruiser? Also, curious to know where every commentator is from. Or, sorry, commenter is from. And also, we have got, do you think Brad Form will coach in New Zealand next? If he gets the chance. Also, we have there, yeah, skydiving there too. Proof I was there also sent now. Yes, and your wife, she visited. I won't put that picture up if you, no, I might not, just because I feel like I'll protect you in that regard. It's on Discord though. I need to go on one of those cruises, don't I? But if we end up doing anything on a cruise, I think my mum would have to come because she likes cruises. Doesn't like mini boats. It's a bit seasick on them, but the big ones she all right on. Latu goes across. Dowling, nice run. Ben Dowling, I believe it is. Placement right wing, who wasn't actually supposed to be on the side. This match in South Africa, mate, says Jonathan. And also, we have good there. Okay, you're on a cruise ship. Says Mumbo Jumbo. Kicked him on from Jorgensen Taken by Sullivan, will boot it into touch, and that is the end of the contest, ladies and gentlemen. 55 points to 21. The Blues get themselves the bonus point victory, which now when we look at the table, that will actually move them up above the Crusaders. That's a lie because the Crusaders won last night. They will stay in 5th, ladies and gentlemen, the Blues. They will not move, but they will be very happy to get themselves quite a one-sided contest in this one. But this is not the last action of the night. I feel like I'm talking in cryptic at the moment. I don't know why I can't put together the actual sentence. But one more live stream tonight, Sharks versus Munster. Hope to see some of you guys there for that stream, of course. We do appreciate everyone tuning in no matter the time of the day. The voice, I'll be honest, it will sound like this. Still be a little bit scratchy, but fingers crossed, gets better soon. We get healthy. We're going to be all good. Kudos to the Blues. I'm going to buy a new Blues shirt because of them, says Knowledge. My Sharks or Gareth's. I should mention this water is not green. When I tip it this way, it does look it. It's just because of the green screen. I almost just tipped that on my crotch. I'm looking at a 1905 50-foot wooden catch this summer. And also where we Blues going next. So the next game for the Blues, we'll go here, and we'll make sure that we know which way round it is, whether it's a home or an away game. They are going to be playing next week up against the Fijian Draw, and that game is in Fiji. 2:05 p.m. start time on the Saturday. Week after that, they're going to be playing head-to-head with Moana Pacifica, and then the week after that, they're going to be playing up against the Crusaders. That should be very fun indeed. And also, get well, Amy. A good old stream mate. He says this news. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, should be healthy by next week's streams, hopefully, but also the one later on tonight. We will get that scheduled pretty much straight after this one so that it's all good to go. So you guys know exactly when we are going to be starting that one. But Patrick Tuipulotu, the Blues captain, happy enough with that performance. Still little cracks in the Blues, though, that they'll certainly be looking to fix. Solid work by the Kiwi lads to pull this show off. Thanks, Hamish, says Blues Nate. No worries. And you also learned some things about hippos along the way. So that is something that, you know, if anyone ever says, oh, YouTube, you can't learn anything, or why you watch the Kiwi lads, he's weird, he doesn't teach you anything, just say, but I now know that hippos eat about 80 pounds of grass a day, Mum. Unlucky. And she'll probably ban you from watching us, but that's all right. You know, it was nice while you were here. These streams always enjoyable, Hamish. I'll stream the Sharks match when you post it. Says Knowledge there. And also we have got the ads for finishing highest league position for the South African teams. Wales have the same thing in the URC. And yes, Hippo, or the Hippo from Nate and Grant with the thumbs up as well. Good night, Hamish. Get well soon. Spider signing off. See you, Spider Mick. We will see you later on, mate. Yeah, Tui Piloto having a good old chat with Jeff Wilson at the moment. Both men play a bit of rugby, unlike myself. We were going to possibly see if Rugby Itch was keen to pop on for a bit of a post-match, but I think he might be celebrating this one. How's your exercises going, says Kerr? I haven't done many of them at this stage, mainly because we haven't seen you for a few days, but also, yeah, I've been a bit sick this week, but the thing is, on about Wednesday, I think it was, I just felt like going on the treadmill and trying to run off the cold, which I don't know whether or not that actually works, but it seemed like a good idea. So I'm probably, after I get better, I'm actually quite keen on getting a bit more exercise going throughout the week because actually, Kurt, me and George went for a run last week. Early last week it was. Oh, no, sorry, late last week. It was 10:30 p.m. at night on a winter's evening here in New Zealand. And we were like, we'll go for a run. Why not? We've got a bit of time to fill in. Let's just go for a run. That was actually after going bowling with the boys. They did all right. I'm just looking. George got 92 in the first game, then 52 in the second. It went downhill, unfortunately, for the boy. Kudos damage. Very fun commentary indeed. Bring on St. George for the next banger, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. here as well. Is this where the peeps are? Here's Gareth. Hello, Gareth. Hope you are doing well. We have got a Sharks game later on, Gareth, when they play Munster. You'll be very happy to hear. And that's going to be a fun game. I'm going to be wide awake for that match. That is for sure. But what we'll quickly do while we are here, we will not get you another Hippo fact unless you guys want one. But first of all, we'll go like that. There we go. It's all loading. Yeah, this game was fast paced. It didn't really drag, did it? It was just try after try every few minutes. A nice one. Get well, bro. Awesome, says Gareth in there. But yeah, I had a relatively healthy tea tonight, which I was quite impressed with. I actually cooked some spuds, but not just spuds. I cooked them good. You know, like they were decent, I would say, in terms of my level of cooking ability. Like I roasted them, did a bit of boiling of them first, shook them around, and then coated them in some oil, salt and pepper. Bloody beautiful. But yeah, I think that is almost going to be the end. I'll never do exercise when you're ill, says Grant. Yeah, you're not supposed to, are you? It's supposed to make you feel worse. But then, you know, when you're sick or when you think you're about to not be sick, like afterwards, like the day or two after you got it, you just feel like you want to try and sweat it out. Like you just feel like you've got that little burst or something in you. It's probably because I ate a Kit Kat and that made me very excited. That happens a bit. Or not, that sounds dodgy, but yeah, every once in a while I have a Kit Kat and that just perks you up a bit more. And yeah, it can mess with your heart, says Gareth there. And a gentle walk is okay, says Hanoi. And then also we've got okay as long as the Aussies lose, says Gareth. Oh, all's okay, yeah. So they haven't had a win so far this week. You know, I believe the next game is going to be Highlanders Western Force. That could be a bit of something, perhaps. But yeah, it could be worse. I ended up missing most rugby and shopping in Singapore. Wife managed to spend 10K. All I noticed was a handbag, perfume, and a pair of shoes. She's done well, hasn't she? Was there anything in the handbag? Maybe she got a nice little piece of jewellery or something along those lines. Possibly. Does the cruise ship have shops on it, Kerr? I feel like it would, wouldn't it? Like little gift shop type things. And then, of course, when you go out and about, and also Hamish came out as a Storms fan and he absolutely loves the Sharks. No one said that. That's all hearsay. This live stream will be privated after to make sure that it stays that way. He just likes the jersey. Don't flatter yourself. You literally bang the nail on the head there. But then I did also say I like the combination of forwards and backs, so I got myself in a bit of trouble for that one. But yeah, that is the next game we are doing. Sharks versus Munster. And there was F for me. And that's all that matters when she spends 10K, says Kerr. See, if I was told spend 10,000, but then it's a cruise as well, isn't it? So you can't really take home a flat screen TV. So that makes it tricky. But like, yeah, what would you buy? Yeah, tell you what, my mumsy's next to me. Mum, you're given $10,000 and 2 hours to go off a cruise ship, and there's any shop that you want. What are you buying? $10,000. You're on a cruise ship for a start, so you can't bring anything that's like a massive like box. 10,000. What are you buying? Anywhere. Pretty much like you go, there's shops that have what you want if you want it. 10,000 bucks. She's buying an iPad. She does need a new iPad. That iPad is getting old, isn't it? Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Okay, and you're supposed to take a break, have a Kit Kat. We have Amiga and Cartier on the ship. $1,000 worth of chocolate. You think I would do that? Yeah. Probably, yeah. Kit Kat and a Fanta, that's a brilliant combo. And also, no idea, mate. I'm not a USC fan. Drukas du Plessis, well known in South Africa. I think he's getting up there. I don't think URC is that big here. UFC or URC? Maybe UFC. So you've got an iPad Anything else you can think of? Some clothes? Like, would you get the fancy stuff that's like, I want a $500 jacket, or would you? Yeah, you would you? Okay, we're learning things here. Yeah, so you can't like take back a 85-inch TV. $1,000 in the casino. Nice. It's hard, isn't it? No. Lounge suite would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But no. You've stumped us here, Kurt, in terms of because the things he mentioned was a bag, perfume, and a pair of shoes. Of those three, you don't really. Oh, you'd like a $50 bag, wouldn't you? Nice bag, perfume. Yeah. I'm learning birthday present ideas at the moment. Maybe not ones that come to 10K. Don't know if the budget quite extends that far yet, does it? No. There you go, an iPad. An Xbox. There you go. Waratahs made some points. Needs steers. Needs mega Whopper burger and some hot chocolate. Says Ruth. I feel like the option of a nice meal. Going out to a nice flash place. Getting, to be honest, I'd try their chips, their hot chips. See how they are. The garlic bread. See how good that is. You can judge a place a lot on how their chips and garlic bread is. I'll tell you that. Pizza as well. Yeah, nonetheless, I think we are almost at the end of this live stream. Now that we're talking about food, ladies and gentlemen, we always get there somehow. Every time. Somehow come down the food route. But yeah, that next live stream will be scheduled very soon for Sharks versus Munster. That is going to be the URC match taking place at 4:10 a.m. when we are starting that one. So in 7 hours, 10 minutes time, we are going to be covering that one. But I do thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. Time to go to get a coffee for me, says Kurt. So make sure you do enjoy that coffee. I am going to go refill a glass of water. About as fancy as I am. And Italian food, says Hanoi. And there's just sitting 6 a.m. Yes, you're up early on a Saturday, isn't it? Yeah. Nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope to see a few of you guys later on for the URC. I think we will be in a weird mood just like this. So be sure to get excited for that. Today, Wish's mum would take the 10K and start her own YouTube channel and live commentate her adventures on a cruise ship. She'd absolutely love that. She's raising her eyebrows at the moment. She's keen. Her cruise ship time. No, not yet. Very busy season for you, I think. Potato wedges and garlic bread dripping with garlic butter. Says Ruth. Yeah, very good indeed. Yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.